Part 1 video link is in description if you haven't checked it yet. 10. Hobart Cemetery, St. David's Park, Tasmania. St. David's Park is a serene oasis that belies its haunting past. Established in 1804, it was originally the city's first burial ground, marking the beginning of European settlement in the area. In April 1804, Lieutenant Governor David Collins and Reverend Robert Knopwood designated the area as Hobart's first cemetery. Over the years, it became the final resting place for many of the city's early settlers, including convicts and free settlers. The gravestones, some of which are still visible today, bear witness to the city's colonial history. By the late 19th century, the cemetery had fallen into disrepair. In 1919, the site was transferred from church ownership to the Hobart City Council. The council transformed it into a public park, officially opening as St. David's Park in November 1926. Despite its transformation, St. David's Park retains an air of mystery. Visitors and locals have reported various eerie occurrences. Apparitions. Some have claimed to see shadowy figures moving between the gravestones, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Unexplained sounds, strange noises, such as footsteps echoing in empty areas and faint whispers, have been heard, especially during the early morning hours before the park opens. Cold spots. Certain areas of the park are reported to experience sudden drops in temperature, even on warm days, leading to an eerie sensation among those present. Today, St. David's Park serves as a peaceful resting place for many and a place of reflection for visitors. While it stands as a historical site, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger among the gravestones. 9. Portland Cemetery, Victoria. Portland, a historic coastal town in Victoria, Australia, is home to the Old Portland Cemetery, one of the state's earliest and most significant burial sites. Established in 1844, it has witnessed the passage of time, with its oldest sections dating back to the 1860s. The cemetery's origins trace back to the early days of European settlement in the area. As the town grew, so did the need for a dedicated burial ground. Over the decades, it has become the final resting place for many of Portland's pioneers, community leaders, and everyday citizens. The cemetery is divided into several sections, each with its own unique history and character. Over the years, the Old Portland Cemetery has been the subject of numerous paranormal accounts. Visitors and staff have reported a range of eerie experiences. The Glowing Cross. In 1907, following a fatal attempt to stop a runaway train at Mullumbimby, a young rail worker, William Steenson, was laid to rest in the North Lismore Pioneer Cemetery. Soon after his death, the cemetery ceased taking new burials and became overgrown. In the 1970s, a mysterious glowing cross appeared on his grave, visible from a distance. This unexplained phenomenon has baffled locals and visitors alike. Apparitions and unexplained sounds. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving between the gravestones, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Strange noises, such as footsteps echoing in empty areas and faint whispers, have been heard, especially during the early morning hours before the cemetery opens. Today, the Old Portland Cemetery serves as a peaceful resting place for many and a place of reflection for visitors. While it stands as a historical site, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger among the gravestones. 8. Lismore Cemetery, New South Wales. Lismore is a city rich in history and culture. Among its many landmarks, the Lismore Cemetery stands as a poignant reminder of the past. Established in the mid-19th century, it has witnessed the passage of time, with its oldest sections dating back to the 1860s. The cemetery's origins trace back to the early days of European settlement in the area. As the city grew, so did the need for a dedicated burial ground. Over the decades, it has become the final resting place for many of Lismore's pioneers, community leaders, and everyday citizens. The cemetery is divided into several sections, each with its own unique history and character. Over the years, the Lismore Cemetery has been the subject of numerous paranormal accounts. Visitors and staff have reported a range of eerie experiences. The glowing cross, in 1907, following a fatal attempt to stop a runaway train at Mullumbimby, a young rail worker, William Steenson, was laid to rest in the North Lismore Pioneer Cemetery. Soon after his death, the cemetery ceased taking new burials and became overgrown. In the 1970s, a mysterious glowing cross appeared on his grave, visible from a distance. This unexplained phenomenon has baffled locals and visitors alike. Apparitions and unexplained sounds. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures moving between the gravestones, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Strange noises, such as footsteps echoing in empty areas and faint whispers, have been heard, especially during the early morning hours before the cemetery opens. Cold spots. Some areas of the cemetery are reported to experience sudden drops in temperature, even on warm days, leading to an eerie sensation among those present. Today, the Lismore Cemetery serves as a peaceful resting place for many and a place of reflection for visitors. While it stands as a historical site, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger among the gravestones. 7. Springvale Botanical Cemetery, Victoria. The Springvale Botanical Cemetery stands as a testament to the city's rich history and cultural diversity. Established in 1901, this expansive cemetery spans 422 acres and is renowned for its meticulously landscaped gardens and diverse range of memorials. The cemetery's origins trace back to 1878 when the Victorian government purchased the site and permanently reserved it for a cemetery on May 10, 1887. Political and municipal rivalries delayed its establishment, but it was eventually founded in 1901 under the name the Necropolis Springvale. The first burial, that of a child named Clarence Reardon, took place on March 20, 1902. Uniquely, the cemetery was designed with an original formal plan based on the Union Jack, reflecting the city's colonial heritage. Over the years, the Springvale Botanical Cemetery has become the subject of numerous paranormal accounts. Visitors and staff have reported a range of eerie experiences. The ringing phone. In the 1980s, a visitor recounted an unsettling incident where, in the midst of a vast, empty lawn within the cemetery, they heard a phone ringing. This inexplicable occurrence left them with a lingering sense of unease. The Woman in White. A recurring tale involves the apparition of a woman dressed in white, seen wandering the cemetery grounds, particularly near the older sections. Witnesses describe her as a spectral figure, often appearing at dusk, adding to the cemetery's mystique. Unexplained sounds. Visitors have reported hearing faint whispers and footsteps in areas where no one else is present. These sounds often occur during quiet hours, heightening the cemetery's eerie atmosphere. Today, the Springvale Botanical Cemetery serves as a peaceful resting place for many and a place of reflection for visitors. While it stands as a historical site, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger among the gravestones. 6. The Old Melbourne Cemetery, Victoria. Beneath the bustling streets of Melbourne, Victoria, lies a forgotten chapter of the city's history, the Old Melbourne Cemetery. Established in 1837, it was the city's first burial ground, serving as the final resting place for thousands of early settlers, convicts, and notable figures. Over time, the cemetery was closed, and the land repurposed for other uses, including the construction of the Queen Victoria Market. Yet, the spirits of the past are said to linger, with numerous reports of paranormal activity in the area. In the early days of Melbourne's settlement, the Old Melbourne Cemetery was established to accommodate the growing population. Over the years, it became the final resting place for many, including notable figures such as the city's first mayor, William Lonsdale. As the city expanded, the cemetery was closed in 1922, and the land was repurposed for other uses, including the construction of the Queen Victoria Market. Despite these changes, the spirits of the past are said to linger, with numerous reports of paranormal activity in the area. The Queen Victoria Market, built atop the Old Melbourne Cemetery, is renowned for its vibrant atmosphere and rich history. However, beneath its lively exterior, there are tales of the supernatural. Visitors and staff have reported unexplained phenomena, including ghostly apparitions. Witnesses have described seeing shadowy figures moving between the market stalls, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Unexplained sounds, strange noises, such as footsteps echoing in empty areas and faint whispers, have been heard, especially during the early morning hours before the market opens. Cold spots. Some areas of the market are reported to experience sudden drops in temperature, even on warm days, leading to an eerie sensation among those present. One of the most frequently recounted tales involves the apparition of a woman in old-fashioned attire, seen wandering among the market stalls at night. Locals believe she is the spirit of a settler's wife, forever searching for her lost husband. Others have spoken of sudden drops in temperature and the inexplicable feeling of sorrow that envelopes them near certain areas, as if momentarily sharing in the anguish of those who once walked the land. Today, the Queen Victoria Market stands as a testament to Melbourne's rich history and cultural diversity. While it serves as a bustling hub for commerce and community, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger beneath its vibrant exterior. 5. Kenwick, Western Australia. The Kenwick Pioneer Cemetery stands as a solemn testament to the early settlers who braved the challenges of colonial life. Established in 1865, this cemetery was once the final resting place for over 200 individuals, including convicts, settlers, and their descendants. In 1863, Wallace Bickley, a civic-minded gentleman, donated 3 3/4 acres of his land bounded by the Bickley Brook and Albany Road for the establishment of a cemetery. This area, initially encompassing the accommodation, courthouse, church, post office, and school grounds for 6 Kenwick school students and their teachers, became a central hub for the local community. The cemetery ceased being available for interments in 2001 and has since been classified by the National Trust of Australia, WA, underscoring its historical significance. Over the years, the Kenwick Pioneer Cemetery has garnered a reputation as one of Perth's most haunted locations. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts have reported a range of eerie experiences. The Headless Horseman, a chilling legend persists of a spectral figure, a headless horseman, riding through the cemetery grounds, particularly near the rail line to Armadale, directly behind the old cemetery. Witnesses describe a man on horseback, holding his own head, appearing around midnight. Unexplained phenomena. Paranormal investigators have documented instances of sudden temperature drops, unexplained sounds, and the sensation of being watched. Some have captured eerie footage and electronic voice phenomena, EVPs, during their investigations. Today, the Kenwick Pioneer Cemetery serves as a poignant reminder of the struggles and achievements of the pioneers of the district. While it stands as a historical site, it also invites contemplation of the lives once lived and the mysteries that may still linger among the gravestones. 4. Quorn Cemetery, South Australia. This cemetery holds an intriguing and somewhat eerie reputation, especially due to its paranormal occurrences. Here's a deeper dive into its history and the ghostly experiences reported by visitors. Korn Cemetery was established in the late 1800s and has served as the final resting place for many of the town's early settlers, including pioneers, miners, and important figures who contributed to the region's development. The cemetery's gravestones span across several generations, with the oldest markers dating back to the town's early establishment. The harsh conditions of the Flinders Ranges meant that life was tough, and many people succumbed to illnesses or accidents, leaving behind poignant markers of their lives. The town itself was originally developed as a railway hub during the 19th century and became the service center for the surrounding farming and pastoral industries. The cemetery reflects the lives of these early settlers, with headstones and graves that tell the tales of the town's origins. Over the years, Korn Cemetery has been largely forgotten by the public, except for those with deep connections to the town. But its reputation as a haunted site has grown in recent decades. The transformation of Quorn from a thriving railway town to a more peaceful, nearly forgotten location in the Flinders Ranges seems to have deepened its connection to the supernatural. Many of the haunting tales surrounding Korn Cemetery are tied to the historical significance of the graves. The site has seen countless visitors, many of whom were drawn not only by the historical importance of the area but also by the whispers of supernatural occurrences that continue to be reported. The contrast of the cemetery's peaceful environment and the unsettling stories surrounding it only adds to its eerie allure. Numerous eerie incidents have occurred at Korn Cemetery, and some of the most frequent paranormal activities include: one of the most common experiences is the sighting of shadowy figures that appear to move between the graves. These apparitions are reported to vanish quickly, leaving no trace of their presence, which leads many to believe that spirits of the past still linger among the gravestones. Several visitors have reported hearing strange noises, such as soft footsteps on gravel, voices in the wind, or eerie whispers. These noises are said to be particularly prominent in the early hours of the morning, when the cemetery is empty, and no one should be present. Some people who have visited the cemetery have reported experiencing feelings of unease or being watched. It is said that certain areas of the cemetery, such as around the oldest graves, are particularly prone to evoking these feelings. Some accounts include seeing figures dressed in old-fashioned clothing, possibly the spirits of the early settlers, moving through the cemetery. These figures have often been described as having an ethereal glow, almost as if they are part of the environment rather than solid entities. There are also tales of voices calling out for help, although no one is around to answer. Local legends suggest that some of the people buried here may not have had peaceful deaths or were victims of unexplained tragedies, which could explain why their spirits remain restless. Despite its ghostly reputation, Quorn Cemetery also remains a peaceful and historical site, offering a space for reflection on the lives of those who once lived in the harsh and unforgiving environment of the Flinders Ranges. It serves as a reminder of the human stories that helped shape the region, though many of these stories seem to have left behind an imprint on the site. The cemetery's landscape is quite scenic, with its historic gravestones set against the backdrop of the stark beauty of the surrounding ranges. The combination of history and the supernatural intrigue makes it a popular destination for both history enthusiasts and those fascinated by the paranormal. 3. Beechworth Cemetery, Victoria. Beechworth Cemetery, a place where tales of the past intertwine with whispers of the supernatural. Established in 1856, this cemetery has been the final resting place for over 17,000 souls, each with their own story etched into the annals of history. In its early years, the cemetery bore witness to the fervor of the Australian gold rush. Prospectors, pioneers, and their families found their eternal sleep beneath its soil. A unique feature of Beechworth Cemetery is the Chinese burning towers, constructed in 1857. These structures were used by the Chinese community to burn offerings, a testament to the diverse cultural tapestry of the era. As decades passed, the cemetery became more than just a burial ground, it evolved into a repository of legends and ghostly tales. Visitors have reported unexplained phenomena, faint whispers carried by the wind, shadowy figures glimpsed between tombstones, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Some believe these are the restless spirits of those who met untimely or tragic ends during the tumultuous gold rush period. One particularly haunting story is that of a young woman who, heartbroken by unrequited love, is said to wander the cemetery's paths, her ethereal form visible on moonlit nights. Another tale speaks of a miner, eternally searching for the fortune he never found in life, his ghostly pickaxe occasionally heard striking the earth in the stillness of the night. The proximity of the cemetery to the infamous Mayday Hills Lunatic Asylum adds another layer to its eerie reputation. The asylum, operational from 1867 to 1995, was the site of numerous deaths, and it's believed that some of its former patients were laid to rest within the cemetery's grounds. This connection has fueled further tales of hauntings, with some claiming to have seen apparitions in outdated hospital attire wandering among the graves. Today, the Beechworth Cemetery stands as a poignant reminder of the region's rich and, at times, tumultuous history. Its weathered headstones and historic monuments offer a glimpse into the lives of those who once walked the streets of Beechworth. For those intrigued by the paranormal, the cemetery remains a focal point, inviting both history enthusiasts and ghost hunters to explore its storied past. As the sun sets and shadows lengthen, the Beechworth Cemetery transforms. The line between the past and present blurs, and the air grows thick with the weight of untold stories. It's a place where history lingers, and for those who listen closely, the echoes of bygone eras can still be heard. 2. Camperdown Cemetery, Sydney. Nestled in the heart of Newtown, Sydney, lies Camperdown Cemetery, a historic burial ground shrouded in tales of love, loss, and lingering spirits. Established in 1848, this cemetery became the principal resting place for the Church of England in Sydney, serving as the city's main burial ground until the opening of Rookwood Cemetery in 1868. Among the many interred here is Eliza Emily Donnithorne, believed by some to be the inspiration for Charles Dickens' Miss Havisham. Jilted on her wedding day, Eliza reportedly lived as a recluse, her tale adding a melancholic aura to the cemetery's history. Over time, as Sydney expanded, the cemetery's use declined, and in 1948, much of its land was transformed into the Camperdown Memorial Rest Park. Today, only a portion of the original cemetery remains, encircling St. Stephen's Anglican Church. Yet, it's the spectral tales that truly captivate visitors. One of the most renowned is that of Hannah Watson, the wife of Captain Thomas Watson. Legend has it that Hannah, entangled in a forbidden love affair, met a tragic end. Her restless spirit is said to wander the grounds, with some claiming to have glimpsed her apparition among the tombstones. Another figure of intrigue is Bathsheba Ghost, who served as the matron of Sydney General Hospital from 1852 to 1866. Despite her surname, Bathsheba was very much alive, but her presence in the cemetery has sparked curiosity in tales intertwining her name with the supernatural. The cemetery also holds connections to maritime tragedies, including victims from the Dunbar and Catherine Adamson shipwrecks of 1857. These disasters cast long shadows over Sydney, and some believe the souls of those lost at sea find solace within these hallowed grounds. Today, Camperdown Cemetery stands as a testament to Sydney's layered past. Its weathered headstones and ancient trees create an atmosphere where history and mystery coexist. Visitors often speak of an uncanny feeling, a sense that the past is not as distant as it seems, and that perhaps, just perhaps, the souls of yesteryear still linger, whispering their stories to those who dare to listen. 1. St. Bartholomew's Cemetery, New South Wales. Perched atop a gentle rise in Prospect, New South Wales, lies St. Bartholomew's Church and Cemetery, a site where history and the supernatural intertwine. Established in 1841, this colonial Georgian church was built by pioneers of Prospect, with funds collected from 1837. The cemetery became the final resting place for many early settlers, including notable figures such as explorer William Lawson, whose family vault is prominently situated within the grounds. Over the decades, the church witnessed the ebb and flow of the local community. However, by the mid-20th century, declining congregations and insufficient funds led to its closure in 1967. The once vibrant site fell into disrepair, becoming a target for vandalism. A devastating fire in 1989 further scarred the structure, consuming much of its interior and leaving behind charred remnants of its former glory. Yet, from these ashes, tales of the unexplained began to emerge. Visitors reported encounters that defied logical explanation. Some spoke of shadowy figures moving silently among the tombstones, while others recounted the eerie sensation of being watched. The atmosphere, especially after dusk, was described as palpably charged, as if the very air hummed with secrets of the past. In response to these accounts, local historians and enthusiasts initiated ghost tours, inviting the curious to experience the site's spectral allure firsthand. Equipped with professional tools, participants explore the church, hall, and cemetery, uncovering the mysteries of the past in the still of the night. One particularly compelling incident occurred on Halloween night, when paranormal investigators claimed to have captured an anomaly on camera, a ghostly figure that seemed to stalk the cemetery grounds. Today, St. Bartholomew stands as a testament to resilience. Restoration efforts have breathed new life into the church, preserving its historical significance while embracing its reputation as a nexus of paranormal activity. The cemetery continues to draw both history enthusiasts and those intrigued by the supernatural, each hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysteries that linger among the graves. As the sun sets and shadows lengthen, St. Bartholomew's transforms. The boundary between the past and present blurs, and the whispers of bygone eras seem to echo among the headstones. It's a place where history is not just remembered but felt, a silent reminder that some stories never truly end.